Today on Nicolas Aquariums, we're going to talk about aquarium maintenance. Now on this episode, we're going to talk about what you need to do every day to have a happy and healthy aquarium. Now, when you go to look at your tank in the morning, you're probably going to want to have the lights on so that you can see your fish. Now, to be able to see your fish, I suggest using a lighting timer. Now, when you have a lighting timer, it's going to have three main benefits. You're not going to cause excess stress on your fish by having your lights on too much. You're also going to cut back on your maintenance because you'll have less nuisance algae growth. And three, you're going to save on energy costs and replacement of bulbs. So, once you have your lights on, you're going to want to check the stand and around the stand in your aquarium for water. All the water is supposed to be inside your aquarium, but sometimes things like leaks or a pump that is set too high might result in water ending up outside your aquarium. This is a problem and something that you need to remedy immediately. If you can't find the source of the water by looking around your stand, check the electrical lines and the pumps and hoses that are coming out of your aquarium to see where the water is traveling. You might have a pump turned up too high or an air stone set too high and it's splashing water out. Water outside of the tank doesn't always mean that your glass aquarium is leaking. So once you make sure that everything is dry, then you're going to want to feed your fish. Now, you can feed your fish once, twice, or more a day. It all depends on the kind of fish that you're keeping and how much maintenance you want to do on the aquarium. Now, you want to feed your fish sparingly. When you feed your fish sparingly, you're not polluting the tank with uneaten food. Now, if you have algae eaters or bottom feeders, you're going to want to feed them separately. Now, I like feeding my fish sinking wafers. This enables them to eat their own blend without being bothered by other fish in the aquarium or fighting for food. If you don't feed your bottom feeders or your algae eaters a separate diet, you might overcompensate for them by dumping in more food to ensure that they get some. Excess food can foul the water. Now, while you're feeding the fish, don't feed any more than they can eat. So when you start seeing food sinking to the bottom of the aquarium, that means you're feeding too much. Now, you'll get the hang of how much you need to feed your fish. Now, while you're feeding your fish, look for fish that aren't eating, or fish that have other signs of health issues. You want to be able to research what's going on so that you can rehabilitate your fish and get them healthy, because disease can spread quickly through an aquarium. Now, while you're feeding your fish, after they've finished eating, you want to be able to remove uneaten food. Now, this is something that will cut back on the pollution inside your aquarium. This will also reduce the amount of maintenance that you have to do on your aquarium. So after you fed your fish, there's one other thing you want to make sure you do. And you can do this at any time. You want to check the temperature of your aquarium by checking your thermometer every day. Our heaters, sometimes, even if they're appropriately sized, the temperature reading on the heater is not what is actually being put into the aquarium. So you want to see how many degrees offset that heater is, so that your fish don't get too cold or too warm. Most freshwater tropical fish like being kept between 74 and 78 degrees. So you want to check your thermometer to make sure that's the case. So these are some things that you have to do every day on your aquarium to make sure that it looks in tip-top shape, and also so that all your fish are healthy. It won't take you much more than 5 to 10 minutes a day to do this maintenance. And these steps don't matter what size aquarium you have or what type of fish you have in your aquarium. These are very standard aquarium duties. Now, in the next episode, we'll talk about what you have to do in your aquarium every week to keep your fish healthy. So, thank you for watching this episode. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode.